Wonder how he felt watching his dog catch the ball. I had to tell my wife to stop. He don't like to pass the ball. I wonder where that low is at.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be out.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks able to record his 5th sack of the season. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Bailey. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
Now Bailey on 1st and 10. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Here's Bailey off the play fake. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And the Bears are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, that's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
A quick throw out wide caught by Robinson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch, maybe you move some motion, maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. 7 yards, the pickup there.
At the 46-yard line.
3 yards remain for second down. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg. Rolling to his right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now a 2nd down and 6. And they'll run on the inside handoff. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Bailey. Being chased out left. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Bears' 26-yard line.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. He covered a lot of ground, great blocking, and now they can sniff that end zone.
They certainly can, and because of that run, maybe you come back and fake it to him on this play and throw a little play action. Someone should break wide open.
Eluding the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They'll try to run with Hines. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. This Bears defense trying to hold on. This is 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Bailey. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Oh, he left this one out to the right. That's a bad miss. No good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now Fields. Got a man and he hits him in stride. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And the Colts are going to get it back here just past the 35. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Looking for Campbell downfield. And that is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Bailey. Flushed out right. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And that's a nice throw right there. And I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing the colleges deliver to the NFL.
And he's got this down to the 35.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off play action. Bailey. Flush to his right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
Back to throw is Bailey. Looking to throw on second down. Dancing to his left. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 54 yards rushing for him now. And he's only carried the ball 4 times.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Looking to throw. Bailey. This to Hines on the drop-off. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight end.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And how about this one now. In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They snap it to Fields. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. First and 10, Taylor now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Bailey now on third down. Looking for Campbell downfield. And this one is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Oh, Mooney, what a catch. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
That is one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. To throw again on second down. Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Again, Fields. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, a pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. On play action, Fields. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And the defense bit hard there. They were thinking run all the way, play fake, working to perfection on 4th down.
And it was able to work because of the down and distance situation. 4th and short, you've got to respect the run. You show a little play action. Oftentimes you find people open for what you need, and that's exactly what they got done there.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Fields on first down. Open man is Kmet, the tight end.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was...
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at the 33. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Bailey. Steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
From the gun, here's Fields.
That is caught by Cohen. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Throwing again is Fields. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
3rd quarter here in Indy. This is 2nd and 10. Here's Fields.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 29-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Here's Isaiah Rodgers to return.
And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Now, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, it's Taylor.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They go to the ground again with Taylor, shedding through the defense. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. They find some open field here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion.
And now the red flag out on the field. We'll have a challenge forthcoming. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. Elsewhere around the NFL, they're in the third at SoFi Stadium. A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. On 3rd down, it's Hines. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Bailey on first down. And his throw is incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Bailey. And his pass incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Hines. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Bailey. That is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
To the right side and into the hands of the tight end, Granson.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
at the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Fields.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor. And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
96 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, you've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
To the right side, this is Taylor.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are right back in this football game.
Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Fields now to throw. That's complete to Mooney.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
And quickly into the hands of Robinson.
Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Fields. And he completes it to Cohen. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st down, Fields. Flushed out right. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Montgomery. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
A 6-yard pickup.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Important extra point up and through, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
And another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Again, it's Taylor. Pushes him over. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 117 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Indianapolis, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they fall to defeat for the 2nd time this season. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.